Level 1, security intern. You wake up at 4:47 a.m. Not because you want to, because you have to. Your uniform is stiff, your boots are new, they're already cutting into your heels. You take the metro. You don't get a motorcade, not yet. You stand outside in December. Your breath fogs the air. A senior officer walks past you without making eye contact. You check badges. That's it. That's your job. Every person who walks through that checkpoint gets your full attention. You scan faces, you check names against lists, you smile, you stay professional. Inside, your legs are burning. You've been standing for 6 hours. You haven't eaten, you won't eat until your break at 2 p.m. Someone tests you. A visitor argues that their clearance is valid. You know the protocol. You hold your ground. Your hands don't shake. That's the first thing they're watching for. Do your hands shake? Yours don't? A senior officer notices. He says nothing, but he notices. You go home at 9 p.m. You eat cold food. You set your alarm for 4:47 a.m. again. Level 2, Junior Uniformed Division Officer. 3 months in. You pass the background check. You pass the psychological evaluation. You pass the physical. You pass things you can't even talk about. Now you walk the perimeter. The White House grounds are smaller than people imagine, but every inch carries weight. You feel it. The history presses down on you every single morning. You walk past the Rose Garden. You don't look at it like a tourist, you look at it like a threat assessment. Where could someone hide? How long would it take to cross this ground? What's the response time from your position to the North Portico? You run these calculations constantly. It becomes automatic. It rewires how you see the world. Your radio crackles. A vehicle is approaching the southwest gate faster than it should. You move. Your hand is already near your holster before you realize you've moved it. The car stops. False alarm. A distracted contractor who missed the sign. Your heart rate drops back to normal in 11 seconds. You track that number. 11 seconds. Last month it was 19. Level 3. Uniformed Division Officer, senior grade. You know every face now. The cleaning staff. The press corps regulars. The kitchen team. The gardeners. The assistants who rotate through every 6 months thinking they own the place. You know them all. You knew the new press secretary before she introduced herself. That's your superpower. Pattern recognition. Something is wrong today. You can't explain it. Nothing has changed. All clearances check out. All vehicles are logged. But something feels different. A man near the East Wing entrance is standing at a slightly wrong angle. His weight distribution is off. You approach professionally, calmly. His credentials are real. His reason for being there is valid. But you flag it anyway. You write it in the log. Your supervisor raises an eyebrow. 2 weeks later, that man is arrested for attempting to establish contact with a foreign intelligence asset. Your supervisor calls you into his office. He doesn't say much, just good instincts. That's worth more than any commendation. Level 4, Shift Supervisor. You are responsible for 14 people now, 14 sets of eyes, 14 reaction times, 14 decision-making processes that all run through you. A threat comes in at 11:22 p.m. Not physical. A credible communication intercept, suggesting a coordinated infiltration attempt, targeting the East Wing. You have less than 4 minutes to reposition your team without causing panic among the overnight staff. You don't pick up the phone. You use the radio. You use code words. Your team moves like water. No one in the building notices. By 11:26 p.m., every vulnerable access point is covered. The threat is neutralized before it materializes. You debrief your team at 2 a.m. You stand in a cold hallway under fluorescent lights. Everyone is exhausted. You are the most exhausted person in the room. You don't show it, because they're watching how you hold yourself in moments like this. You go home at 6 a.m. You sleep for 4 hours. Your phone rings. You answer before the second ring. Level 5, Operations Commander. The job has changed. You spend more time in rooms than on floors now. Briefing rooms, coordination rooms, rooms with no windows and too many screens. You sit across from intelligence officers, from military liaisons, from people whose titles you're not cleared to share outside this building. You speak less, you listen more. You learn the difference between information and intelligence. You learn that what people don't say is often more important than what they do. A foreign dignitary is visiting. The threat level has been elevated. Your counterpart from another agency disagrees with your perimeter configuration. He has more political leverage than you do. He has more years in the system. You don't back down. You have data. You have the analysis. You have the ground truth from 3 previous visits with similar threat profiles. He backs down. That night, walking the perimeter alone at midnight, you feel the weight of it differently now. This isn't just a job anymore. This is a responsibility you carry in your chest every second, every breath. Level 6, Assistant Director of Security Operations. You are cleared for things that would change how most people sleep at night. You know about the access tunnels. You know about the contingency protocols. You know what happens in the first 90 seconds of a national security emergency. You know where the president goes. You know how. You know the backup for the backup. You carry this knowledge silently. Your team has expanded to 47 people. You don't manage them directly anymore. You architect the systems they operate within. You design the protocols. You run the simulations. You stress test the assumptions everyone else takes for granted. Last week, you ran a simulation that revealed a 12-second gap in coverage during a specific transition event. 12 seconds. Most people would dismiss that. You don't dismiss anything. You redesign the protocol. You run it again. The gap closes to 3 seconds. You keep running it. You will not stop until it's 0. Your team thinks you're obsessive. You are. That's exactly why you're here. Level 7, Deputy Director of Security. You brief the Chief of Staff now. You sit at tables where decisions get made that you'll read about in history books. You speak in measured sentences. You present options. You never present just one option. You always present 3. You never tell them what to decide. You tell them what each decision costs. You've stopped counting hours. Time has become irrelevant. You operate in a state of perpetual readiness that has no off switch. Your family has adjusted, or they haven't. You try not to examine that too closely. A crisis hits at 3:14 a.m. on a Tuesday. Something has breached the outer perimeter. Not a person, a drone. Small, quiet, moving through a corridor of airspace that should have been impossible. You are on the phone before the alert finishes. You are in the operations center in 11 minutes. Your team is already moving. You watch the screens, you make 3 calls, you issue 2 orders. The drone is intercepted at 3:21 a.m., 7 minutes. You stand in the center of the room after it's over. The adrenaline takes longer to leave your body now than it did 10 years ago. Your hands are steady. Your face is neutral. Inside, something is screaming. Because you already know what the debrief is going to show. That drone didn't get through by accident. Someone helped it. Someone on the inside. Level 8, Director of White House Security. You sit alone in your office at 5 a.m. The building is never completely silent. You've learned to hear the difference between silence and quiet. This is quiet. Operational quiet. Everything running at baseline. For now. You have been in this role for 14 months. In 14 months, you have averted 3 credible threats, overhauled the entire digital access infrastructure, survived 2 congressional hearings, and replaced 7 personnel after discovering loyalty irregularities that never made the news and never will. You don't talk about what you do at dinner parties. You don't go to dinner parties. The file on your desk is marked with a classification level that doesn't exist in the public record. You've read it 4 times. Each time, you find something new, something that shifts the picture. Your phone buzzes. A message from a number you recognize. A contact inside a foreign intelligence service. A contact you've maintained for 9 years. A contact no one above you knows exists. The message is 4 words. It's happening. Tonight. Midnight. You sit very still. You look at the clock on the wall. It reads 5:07 a.m. You have 19 hours. You don't reach for the phone to call your superiors, not yet. Because if what you suspect is true, if the breach goes where you think it goes, then you cannot trust the chain of command. For the first time in your career, you are completely alone. The weight of the most protected address in the world rests entirely on your shoulders. You stand up, you button your jacket, you walk out into the quiet hallway, and you begin. The question isn't whether you're ready. You've been ready your whole life. The question is, who else in this building has been getting ready too, and for what?